yourself into a dignified but not uncomfortable position. Allow your eyes to come gently closed if you feel comfortable doing that. You can imagine that your awareness is sort of like a flashlight, and you can shine the focus of your awareness on your breath.
Dr. Robert Baldwin is directing a mindfulness session at the Experiential Health Center. He's instructed his students to focus their minds on their breathing, and when their minds begin to wander, to shine their focus, like that flashlight, back onto their breathing. For the next 10 minutes, the students sit quietly, absorbed in the moment. This is mindfulness in action.
One way to think about what mindfulness is to talk about a little bit what it isn't. In our society, we live with a lot of stress. I think that our society engenders a lot of compulsive thinking. All of our training programs and everything throughout school is geared in developing good thinkers, and so we end up thinking a lot, and our minds become like hyperactive dogs on a very long leash. And so you're trying to walk this hyperactive dog down the street, and it runs into the neighbor's yard, and then you're worried about what it's doing over there, and then it might run out into the street, and you're worried about it being run over. And so it's always causing lots of anxiety based on where it drifts off to. Meditation is a way of shortening that leash so that we have our mind more focused on what's happening in the present moment. And when you focus your awareness on the present moment, you begin to realize that right now, more often than not, there isn't anything wrong.
So mindfulness can be described as moment-to-moment awareness, but with one important caveat.
Usually when we're attending to what's happening moment to moment, we make judgments about it. It's, I like this, I don't like that. But mindfulness is about allowing experiences to happen without making immediate judgments.
In a world where multitasking is the norm, and none of us can live without our smartphones, the distractions of life can prevent us from living in the moment. Professor Musey says this has become our default state of existence, a state that he calls mindlessness.
Mindlessness is just the fact that our minds ordinarily are just moving from place to place. It's what the Buddha called monkey mind. We get interested in one thing, and then suddenly we're interested in something else, and our attention goes there. And so we are moving back and forth between ideas. Sometimes we're off contemplating what we're going to be having for dinner, or I could be sitting here right now and thinking about my vacation at Orlando this summer. So I'm not really being fully present in the moment. That's mindlessness.
It's important to understand that mindfulness and meditation are not necessarily the same thing. Mindfulness is a state of mind, and meditation is a means of cultivating that state of awareness with the goal of living life in a state of mindfulness.
Mindfulness is a quality that we want to have, and meditation is a way of cultivating that quality. So just as one might go to the gym and exercise for a couple of hours every week to gain strength, to gain flexibility, to improve one's health, meditation is like going to the gym, except it's a discipline for the mind. And instead of gaining flexibility and strength and health and so forth, what it promotes is this quality of being attentive to our experience at all times. So consequently, we live our lives in this state of mindfulness. So we could be reading a book mindfully, we can be cooking mindfully, I can be having a conversation with you mindfully, as long as I'm fully attentive and other things are not drifting through my mind at that time.
Reducing stress is one of the main benefits of practicing mindfulness. In a 2008 study of Marines about to be deployed to Iraq, 12 minutes of meditation a day resulted in improvements in sleep, cognitive and emotional testing, and athletic performance. Major corporations like Aetna, Adobe, Google, and Target have added mindfulness to their employee wellness programs. This is the noontime community mindfulness class at Church Health in Crosstown Concourse. Most of the participants in this class come here for a brief respite from the stress of the day.
The decrease in stress, the relaxation, that's a side effect of being mindful. The harder I try to be unstressed, the further it retreats away from me. So when I'm practicing mindfulness, really what I'm doing is I become aware of distractions, I accept them without judgment, and then I just let them be and I return to whatever it is I'm meditating on.
Science is still studying the impact of mindfulness, and as you might expect, it's difficult to quantify feelings. But studies have reached some conclusions.
Meditation helps with concentration, focus, awareness. Meditation helps with stress. It decreases the inflammatory response. It helps with chronic pain. But you have to understand, it doesn't change the biological cause of chronic pain. It helps people change their relationship to the pain, how they perceive the pain, how they experience it. So they have greater quality of life.
This is the mindfulness-based stress reduction class at Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare. Methodist is one of the few Memphis companies that have incorporated mindfulness into their employee benefits program.
We decided to put in a mindfulness program because we work in a really stressful environment here, dealing with the ups and downs with patient care. And so we wanted to come around and provide a supportive environment for our employees and our associates here. And so we were looking at opportunities and ways to do that. And that's where we researched and found mindfulness, and specifically the mindfulness-based stress reduction program.
This 8-week class is open to Methodist employees, their families, and even patients. Hospitals are stressful environments. By relieving stress, Methodist believes they can deliver better care.
And so I think Methodist's commitment is because their associates are able to deliver better care, also for themselves, as well as the patient.
Methodist's mindfulness-based stress reduction program has only been in operation since 2015, but it's already seeing results.
So we were hearing from people who had taken the course, "Ooh, I already feel less overwhelmed, I'm able to deal with stressful situations, I'm more in control, my family members are noticing a change in the way I'm able to deal with things." And then we started hearing a little bit about participants who were saying, "I'm off my blood pressure medication." And that's a huge impact and change.
So mindfulness is paying dividends to local companies like Church Health and Methodist Healthcare. But what about beyond the workplace? Can mindfulness benefit us as we age? Michael Burnham thinks so.
So what mindfulness can do is help you understand who you are and what's going on in your life, and the transition to retirement, although we all think it's going to be great and easy, isn't so easy at times. And the ability to be able to look at your life as in the future differently than what's occurred in the past, and to be working with what's going on for you in your mind, your body, your reactions, can be a very powerful way for people in the age group you're talking to embrace a different way of existence.
Allow your awareness to return to the room and maybe bring some movement into your hands and feet. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to come gently open.